Welcome, Kat here. Today we're going to do a meditation and a healing about really understanding anger and what anger means to you. So firstly, let's just relax. Take some nice deep breaths to get out of the head space and into the heart space, diving deep into this present moment. And this is your time now. This is your time to go within. So just settle down and get comfortable wherever that may be. Feeling your breath. Connecting to the present moment. Knowing you are so safe, so supported, and so grounded. Now I'd like you to use your imagination. I'd like you to take yourself somewhere where you feel safe. This could be a beautiful place in nature. It could be the beach. It could be beside a river. It could be in your own home. Wherever you choose is just perfect. Just taking yourself now somewhere where you feel totally at home, totally safe. And this place uplifts you because there's a beautiful energy in this place. This place is yours. It's where you feel safe and at peace. So just take yourself there now and just notice what you see. And just feeling a sense of calmness wash over you. Feeling so relaxed and so at peace in this moment. And while you soak in the surroundings, just listening to my voice, because we're going to start to understand. We're going to start to understand a little bit more about anger and what that means to you. Because when we experience anger, we can feel emotions like rage, we can feel annoyed, intimidated or frustrated. Anger can leave us feeling powerless or even hatred. So my first tip on how you can release this anger is really feel it and acknowledge it. Even if you want to put a label on it, what are you feeling? And knowing that whatever you're feeling, that's okay. Anger is there. Accept it. And anger can be felt very physically in the body. I wonder if you can remember a time when you felt angry. So knowing that you're in this beautiful, safe place, take some time now to feel anger and feel it in your body. I wonder where you feel that anger. Do you feel it in your head or your throat or your chest? Whereabouts do you feel anger in your body? And this may be different for different people. So remembering a time you felt angry, and let's just sit with it. Sit with what comes up. And sometimes when we feel this anger in our body, it can relate to our chakra or energy systems. So, for example, those who may feel anger in the lower chakras, so their root or their sacral, so the lower part of the body, sometimes this anger may be deeply rooted in their being. Sometimes anger can be passed down from us from generations or even past lives. Sometimes we carry anger with us that's not even ours, and it triggers us. Sometimes anger can be felt in the chest or the throat. And this is sometimes due to a lack of communication, maybe not speaking up or not speaking your truth. Sometimes it could be a feeling of being repressed. When it's heart related, it can be sometimes being related to the people we love the most. It's interesting just to feel into this anger and notice where you feel it in your body. And there is a lot of energy that surrounds anger. I like to think of anger as just energy that needs to be expressed. But it's the way you express your anger that's important. So instead of suppressing it or denying it or allowing it to come out as a huge reaction or a burst, it's about learning to express your anger in better ways, moving with the energy. So maybe an appropriate way to express anger could be going for a run or punching a pillow or yelling into a pillow, bouncing a basketball, taking up boxing, because it's okay to let it out. It's okay to feel angry. My next tip is to get curious. And this is where we go in and we ask ourselves, what is causing this anger? What is the root cause of this anger? Sometimes anger can be embedded in fear, and it can be fear that is the root cause. And if that is the case, it's about asking yourself, what is the fear under this anger? And anger serves a purpose. Anger tells us that something is not right. It can also be a warning for us to move or respond. Sometimes our anger is justified and an appropriate response to a situation. Sometimes it is not. So to help with this, in a moment I'm going to take you on a journey. But before we do, let me introduce myself. My name is Kat and I am from Arise Coaching and Wellbeing. It is my mission to help people heal and operate from the space of love, unity, and peace. I help people overcome depression, anxiety, and I also help people clear and heal from emotions such as anger, grief, fear, loss, sadness. So if you would like to go deeper with the healing, I will leave my details in the comment section below. But for now, let's move into the healing part of this session to see if we can really clear some of this anger and gain understanding of what it means for you. So I'd like you to ask your unconscious mind if it's okay to release this anger and for you to be consciously aware of it. Allowing yourself this time for you to dig deep and release this anger today. So if you could ask yourself in this moment, trusting what comes up, if you were to know what is the root cause of this problem, what is the root cause of this anger? If you were to know, was it before, during, or after your birth? Trusting what comes up for you. So let's see if we can go back to the event now. Taking a nice deep breath in and exhaling. And as you do, I want you to float up in your mind. And I want you to see if you can float back to the event. And I want you to know that you are your adult self now. And you can float back to the event and look down on that event, floating over top of that event. Now, this may not be the root cause. It could just be a past event when you were angry. So just looking above that event now, I want you to see yourself. See yourself, your younger self, in that event. And just notice what you see. Notice what's happening. Really notice what's happening in that event right now. Feeling the emotions that come up when you look down on this event. And you are your adult self now. So what I'm going to ask you to do is float down into that event next to your younger self. And I want you to give your younger self a hug. Tell your younger self that you love them and that they are doing the very best that they can. Remember that we need to accept all parts of us. And anger is a part of you too. Standing beside your younger self. I wonder, what can you learn from this event? What can you learn from this event which will allow you to let go of this anger? So that the learnings will be there if you need them in the future. I wonder, how would you go about this event differently now? If you could do this event again, how would you do it? And I wonder, what resources does your younger self need in order to be able to get through that event perfectly for the highest good for everyone involved? Do they need compassion? Do they need acceptance? Do they need strength? Do they need strategies and tools to be able to calm and breathe in the moment? Do they need forgiveness? Do they need support or love? What does your younger self need in that moment? Because we're going to show compassion to your younger self. And we're going to give your younger self everything they need in that moment. And whatever they are needing, your adult self can give those resources to them. So see that now. You as the adult, giving your younger self a hug, saying, I've got you, and giving them everything they need in that moment. And your younger self accepts all these beautiful resources. And you may like to float back out of the event now. And you might like to watch your younger self go through that event with those resources embedded in their timeline. And your younger self can easily get through that event in the way that is best for everyone involved. Showing compassion to your younger self. Accepting that this was part of your journey. Learning the lessons so that if a time arises in the future, you can easily get through that. And I wonder, does your younger self has a message for you? Does your younger self have any understandings, insight, or advice for the present you? And what would that be? What would they tell you? Preserving those learnings, preserving those insights. Seeing yourself in a beautiful light, knowing that you are on a journey. We cannot change the past, but we can accept the past and learn and grow from the past. So if you were to float back along your timeline, coming back into this present moment, coming back to your beautiful, safe place that you've created, feeling so worthy, so loved, so at peace right now. How do you feel about your anger now? We're looking at transforming this anger into compassion, forgiveness, understanding, acceptance, and love. Knowing that everything in this life happens for a reason. Everything in this life has made you the person you are today. So if you've got some advice for the future you, if you were to get into a situation again where you may feel anger, knowing that it's okay to feel anger, but what would your advice be for the future you in order to get through that situation in a way that is aligned with your highest good? What advice do you have for the future you? So coming from your heart space, just breathing in and exhaling. We're going to slowly come back, slowly emerging from this state. We're going to slowly come back into the room and know that you can do this process again and again to go back to any situation where you may have been experiencing anger, to try and get a different perspective on that situation. So you can heal and you can start to release some of that anger. So you can be living in this present moment, right now, just being. So when you're ready, coming back to the room, coming back to full awareness. And I wish you a wonderful day and all the best for your journey. Much love, much light. Bye for now.